into the streets. So this is fantastic.
A turnout like this means something. You know, when your first meeting is packed out, when it's sold out, to put it in theater terms, it means you have a hit on your hands. To put it in activist terms, it means you are in a movement moment. It means if you organize it, they will come. It means you have good timing. That's the moment we're in right now. The Department of Culture for existing and for opening the doors and letting all of us flood in. I also really wanted to be here tonight because my husband, Avi Lewis, was used as an expedient excuse to kill a very important program called Prom Arts, which is what we've been hearing about tonight, which sends writers and documentary filmmakers and feature filmmakers around the world to promote their work. Avi's name was invoked. He was described as a general radical. Avi couldn't be here tonight because he is covering the Republican National Convention. I think right now he's listening to a speech by a woman who doesn't believe in the woman's right to choose, even in the case of rape, and believes that gas prices can be lowered by next weekend if you drill in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. In other words, it's the spiritual homeland of Stephen Harper. He says his regret. He says he is sorry that he helped to kill a wonderful government program. And he also said that he'd like to apologize to general radicals everywhere because it was really not fair to you that he be put in your league. Now, as you know, I mean, there was something really amazing about the way Avi's name was used, about the way Wynne Dyer's name was used, about the way many artists' names were used. It was overtly political. You know, what they said is, well, we do not like your politics, so we're cutting this program. They didn't even say we don't like the film you made about occupied factories in Argentina, which is what he was promoting. You know, fair enough, it was a communist film, but they didn't even go that far. It was just, you know, his politics. And then they made this really dishonest association with Al Jazeera, right? Scary Arab network where Avi is working now, even though the grant was issued in 2004 and Avi's only been at Al Jazeera for 6 months. So this is the kind of dirty tactics that are being used. They really won't stop at anything. Our argument is not with them, it is with the Canadian public. We need to expose these tactics and we need to talk directly to the people and make our case. Said about this not being her country, this not being her Canada. And I don't think we want to engage in any unnecessary idealization of a perfect nation that never existed, because we know that that isn't true. But there is something very real going on in this country, something very real that is at stake here. And if I could just talk a little bit personally, you know, my family came to Canada in 1967 because my father didn't want to fight in the Vietnam War. They came here as war resistors. They came here as draft dodgers. But they stayed because my mother liked the National Film Board and my father didn't want to work in the American healthcare system. And this was explained to me as a kid, that we were staying in Canada. We left America because of the war, but we were staying because here, Mommy can make films about feminism and the peace movement at the Studio D at the National Film Board. And in Canada, you don't have to be rich to get sick, to get decent health care. Now, all of this is under siege. The principle of universal health care, funding for the arts, and war resistors are being sent home by this government while it embraces its hitting war on terror rhetoric. This isn't the country that my family chose to come to, that my family came to by choice, and it's starting to look a lot more like that country on display in St. Paul during the Republican National Convention. This this administration, the Harper government, they don't actually want an economy that's built on culture and innovation. What they want is a culture that is, and an economy that is built on taking the Alberta tar sands, boiling them, and turning it into a substance that will further boil our planet. That is their vision. It is that ugly. So when we think about the coalitions that we want to build, we also have to be making powerful coalitions with environmental groups who are also determined to find ways to beat the Tories in this election. We have a lot of when you build a coalition, it isn't just about this group here or that group there coming together with their agendas. It's about what everybody brings to the table. And I think it's really exciting to the labor movement, to the environmental movement, to think about what the arts community can bring to the table, to think about your skills in film, in theater, in design, in a way that can make politics truly transformative, truly exciting, because you guys know how to put on a hit. So let's do it.